everybody, Flip and Danny here, founders of the Freedom Real Estate Group family of companies, and welcome to another live episode of our podcast called
Freedom Through Passive Income.
That's right. Today's episode is our week 8 live recap and key takeaways from this past week episodes.
Yeah.
Back on Saturday, we did episode 50. This is the 3 myths of, I need some. There we go. 3 myths of out-of-state investing. Key takeaways are, the risk. Every investment, carries risk, whether it's local or not. But making sure that you find someone in that area, a team typically to help you out, because especially with if it's a multifamily, you're going to need a team. It's not, but even in single family, you should still have a team because there's so many different things. And you said the second key takeaway is a solid team. That's obviously the biggest takeaway of that episode.
Yeah. Because one of the things that we talked about was the other myth was people think they have to be close. So proximity of being close to the house. Just have a solid, good team and you're good.
Yep.
So episode 51 was the best life, business, and investing lesson and the key to getting started. And our key takeaways for those are use the goal line as inspiration to pull you. Don't judge yourself with regard to how close you are to the goal. Instead, celebrate the progress and the gain of how much closer you're getting every single day with each step that you take.
Yep. The gap in the gain.
That's right.
Then episode 52, cash-on-cash returns and why people use them to evaluate properties. This was my horrible Johnny Cash joke. Hopefully somebody got that out there. But we talk about some of the key takeaways is how to calculate the cash-on-cash return. And then the other takeaway is the importance is comparing loans, because every loan is different, especially depending on how much cash you're going to need for that loan,
That's right.
as well as strategies, whether or not you're going to use a loan. So it's the cash-on-cash return. There's so many different. It's used in so many different ways.
But it's very key for comparing each of the strategies, just like you said. Episode 53. This was 3 critical steps you should take before investing in your first real estate syndication. And our key takeaways for that is gaining knowledge. There are no dumb questions. We built the Facebook group, Freedom Through Passive Income. If you go to facebook.com/groups/Freedom Through Passive Income, or if you go to LinkedIn, and you just search for Freedom Through Passive Income, those are the groups that we've created to be able to ask questions where nobody else can see. You can even ask anonymous questions. So there are no dumb questions, but if you're afraid, these types of groups are private and you can just ask anything you want. And we even talk about the taboo topics in there. And I'm like, I know everybody doesn't want to talk about this on Facebook, but here's a private group. Let's talk about it. So we post things all the time in the evening. I do anyway. And then due diligence, vet everybody involved in a deal whenever you're going to be investing in a syndication. That's super, super important.
Absolutely.
And then episode 54 was 3 investing gold nuggets we learned from Dan Fleshman. And that was at a mastermind that we were at in Utah, I believe. And the key takeaways there was 40-40-20. So you're going to want to listen to the entire episode, but to understand what he was teaching us. But it was really about having 40% of your money invested in low type investments, low risk, then 40% in medium risk, and then 20% use that for your shot at glory, right? Your high risk investments where you're hoping for a woohoo, but you really don't care because it's only 20% and you have the other 80% is mixed between low and medium. So that way you can balance the types of returns you can get in that type of investments. And then he talked about betting on the person. You can see a good business idea, but if you don't believe in the person, the quarterback that is running it, then just don't do it. And even if it hasn't launched completely, it's a good idea and you believe in that person. He says that's how he invests. He invests in the people.
Right. And then the third key takeaway from that episode is my Looney Tunes Nikes.
Oh, yes.
Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner.
That's right.
And then yesterday's episode, our week 8 live, our live progress updates, our 48 unit signed LOI, which is
letter of intent.
So we're moving forward on that 48 unit. So we're super excited. Now we're running like mad.
Yes.
Getting ready to go on vacation. That's awesome. And then also, as of yesterday, we're probably over it now. But as of yesterday, we're at almost 3,000 downloads.
Woohoo!
Almost. And over
Almost.
1,500 viewers views on YouTube.
Yeah.
So super excited. So make sure that means that shows that you actually like what we're doing. So make sure you share it with any friends. Share it on Facebook. If you see our podcast or the videos, go ahead and share it. But let us know how we're doing. Make sure you get into those groups, ask the questions, talk to the team. But we hope that you enjoy everything that we're doing here. And we always like to end all of our episodes with
Invest smart.
Live happy. Bye everybody.
Nothing on this show should be considered specific, personal, or professional advice. Please consult an appropriate tax, legal, real estate, financial, or business professional for individualized advice. Opinions and information on this show are not guaranteed. All investment strategies have the potential for profit or loss, y'all.